Hi, I'm Shawn Moore with Century 21 Trident Realty. This is part 3 and the final part in a short series of the psychology of buying and selling real estate. So in the first and second part, we got into the mindset of a buyer and how they formulate, I guess, a position on the value of your house from early on before they even set foot in your home by looking online, and then as they drive up to the home, things that they're thinking and how you as a seller can affect that mindset to keep it positive so that when they walk through the door, you can actually get your home sold. So here we are in the final part of this, and I'm going to give you a couple of really great takeaway tips for you as a seller that you can do for no money to ensure that you keep your buyer in a positive mindset, and kind of tie it all together so that you understand how nothing's really cut and dry, but that the sale of your house and the best price that you can get for your house is really a function of your price versus the value and the perception of value that you're offering. If they're in that kind of negative subconscious, they think it's priced a little high, there's a bit of clutter, all this stuff adds up to their perception that it's priced maybe too high, or maybe it's a great value. And if it's slightly negative, they're actually going to go through the house and they're going to work against themselves. They're going to look for all the negatives and all the reasons why the house is not a good value. On the flip side, if they think it's a great value, every single one of those objections, those nicks in the floor, a little bit of dirt, that kind of stuff completely goes away. So it's a fine balance between price and what you're presenting, but don't underestimate the psychology of what's actually happening. And the great news is that you have control over all of these things. So you don't necessarily need to go and take it to the next level and paint your entire house like a neutral gray tone, trendy paint color, but you certainly have control over the clutter, removing items, bulky items of furniture, minimizing what you have in your home, and staging your house with what you have, and keeping your home in a generally excellent state of repair. Because regardless of the condition of a home, if it's in great, the decor of a house and the datedness of a house, if it's in great repair, that shines through, and the people can say, oh, I can paint, like no problem, but I don't want to fix this, fix that, and this looks run down. So you're starting to understand what I'm hitting at here. You have complete control over that, and don't underestimate the ability to change perceptions and get a premium price by reducing clutter in your house. And it's the number one thing you can do for next to no money. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips as I wrap this up. One of the best tips is less is more. So if you have a question mark about, should I take this piece of furniture out because is it too much? Or is it weird? Is it loud? Is it kind of strange? Well, I'll leave this with you. If something's not there, 10 out of 10 people will not have a problem when they can't see it. If it's not there, it doesn't exist, it's not a problem. If it's a little bit of a question mark and you've left it there, well, maybe 2 out of 10 people will have an issue with it and it affects them negatively. And hey, that's not a big deal for one issue, but let's back it up. Maybe it's been a few different negative issues, and that's just one more in the pile of that subconscious negative. So it's a real easy thing, if there's a question mark, to literally eliminate and take it away. So if you have another question like a really loud paint color in a room that's kind of wacky and you haven't really nailed it in terms of your finish with this crazy orange paint or whatever it might be, then the general answer is tone it down and eliminate that objection so that 10 out of 10 people don't have a problem with, say, that color. So taking the orange out is a safe bet, and you eliminate and appeal to the broadest demographic. So you fishing in the biggest pond with the juiciest piece of bait that you possibly can, and that's your goal. And no one thing is actually going to cause you problems, but they all work together. So you can see how it blends and how you want to seek that advice. Make sure you price your home properly. So hopefully that brought you a little bit of decent information and some food for thought. And if you have any further questions about anything real estate related, please reach out. If you have any thoughts or buying or selling, I'd love to hear from you. Take care for now.